will come to Fame Reporter YouTube channel after disastrous associations with RB artists Case and KC Haley. Mary J. Blige found love again with Kendu Isaacs. Or, on the other hand, so she thought. The sovereign of hip jump soul got deeply inspired by a man she would later portray as a scalawag. Unfortunately, she disregarded every one of the warnings that were humming her right in the face. On the off chance that you can't stand it when we jump profound into others' business. Indeed, I'm not gon' cry. I'm not gon' cry. I won't cry, no tears. No, I'm not gon' cry. It's not the time. 'Cause you're not worth my tears. In any case, until the end of you all, make certain to gather up something to chomp on at mavericksnacks.com, our web-based snack bar that has a variety of hamburger and bacon jerky, toasted corn, nuts, and green apple licorice. In a meeting with The Message, Mary J. Blige expressed that after her poisonous relationship with K.C. Haley reached a conclusion, she fell further into drinking vigorously and manhandling substances. She would some of the time keep awake for 3 days all at once. Her way of life was beginning to influence her vocation, and she realized she expected to roll out a few significant improvements. In the meantime, in the year 2000, music director and maker Kendu Isaacs was dealing with a melody with Sovereign Latifah in a Detroit studio when he pondered internally, "We ought to put Mary on this tune." Sovereign Latifah. Individuals connected with Mary's kin, and she was informed that Mary was on visit. Yet when Mary's visit halted in Detroit, Mary went to the studio and looked at Kendu, who she depicted as being adorable. In a meeting with Substance, be that as it may, Mary said she let Kendu be on the grounds that she thought he and Sovereign Latifah were a couple. Ha! Ha! Is it true or not that you are lying? They generally hung out sometime thereafter, and Mary and Kendu got an open door to gab. He advised Embodiment magazine he was prepared to take Mary to Pound Town on that first evening. Yet it didn't work out, he said. At the point when we got a nearness to one another, it felt strange. It seemed like a sibling or sister relationship. Presently, what on God's green earth? He was prepared to lay the line. Yet he likewise didn't feel a heartfelt association with her. Okay. They headed out in a different direction, yet Kendu was anxious to see her once more. For what? With some assistance from Sovereign Latifah, he and Mary traded contact data. Mary was especially impacted by Elia's passing on August 25, 2001. Despite the fact that they weren't dear companions, Mary told Oprah Winfrey, "My life was her life." She was encircled by individuals who weren't telling her the genuine article. And afterward, 9/11 happened half a month after the fact, and Mary was totally damaged by the occasions. She fell into a more profound melancholy. One evening, while in a lodging in Florida, she was spiraling to her absolute bottom. While she thought about her life, the telephone rang. It was Kendu, she told Embodiment magazine. It was the main discussion she had with a fair inspired by person blowing her back out. Kendu continued to tell her that he had the right medication to recuperate her. Presently, stand by a moment, youngster. What sort of medication would he say he was attempting to give Aunt Mary? This don't for a moment even sound right. With Kendu's support, Mary concluded she didn't have to get help. All things considered, she and Kendu went to a higher power. Presently, tune in. Nothing bad can really be said about depending on your confidence and going to God during seasons of sadness. Notwithstanding, at times God drives us to the responses, and those answers come as recovery and expert assistance. In any case, Anywho Mary gradually began to let her gatekeeper down, and by leisurely we mean she was caught set up and frozen like Mitch McConnell when he was messing up during that question and answer session. Mary owned up to March magazine that she mistreated him for some time since she was dubious, and he appeared to be unrealistic. Youngster and endowment of insight was attempting to tell her he was a Mr. Wrong. She let CBS News know that previous youth injury impacted her connections as a grown-up. Thus, she found it hard to acknowledge that Kendu truly adored her, she said. What's more, he truly cherished separated just me since I simply never saw myself like the lady that a man like him would need. In the long run, she became clear-headed after Kendu took steps to leave her in the event that she didn't. She pardoned everyone individuals from before and concluded she was prepared to get genuine affection. They moved in together and were almost certain that implied they moved into her home. They told Pith magazine that subsequent to concentrating on the book of scriptures a few more, they chose to shun thumping boots. That likewise implied that Kendu expected to get together and get to stop him since, it's difficult to go without closeness when there's a stone hard hanging. Don't bother. You all get the point. So Kendu got together his spine of night packs and went out. They kept dating, and in December 2003, they got hitched at her New Jersey home, and Moment family was framed as Mary became a stage mother to Kendu's 3 kids from his past connections: 4-year-old Jordan, 3-year-old Nasir, and 16-year-old Brianna. They settled down in a $12 million house in New Jersey. Mary's sister, LaTanya, who additionally filled in as her administrator, was terminated and supplanted by Kendu. Mary's vocation was thriving. However, horseplay was close to the corner. Her companions were worried that Kendu had placed that hocus pocus on her, and anybody who acquired the haderation holleration this dancerai was let go, including her long-term companion and colleague Lil Kim. Mary told Wendy Williams during a radio meeting, "No, I have no companions. Similar to they all clean up and were finished with me when they felt that this person put a fierce reveille on." Better believe it, similar to it here was goodness. He a figment of her imagination. What's more, it's like, assuming that you were ever my companion, you would realize that no man can convince me to do anything since I am an obstinate beast in the tissue. Right? Yet in the soul, I'm compliant and faithful to my man. However, even Kendu's oldest girl, Brianna, who later showed up on Growing Up, Hip Jump, clarified that her daddy was garbage. In a since-erased Instagram post, Brianna said she just had 3 photos of her and Kendu together. She added, "I really concocted each rationalization for you, yet actually you're trash." Darn. During a December 2009 record discharge, party film was caught of Mary giving Kendu the business. Mary's group later said a squabble between Mary's sibling and Kendu went down, and Mary in the middle between them to separate the battle. Be that as it may, the New York Post called Cap, the news source, guaranteed in addition to the fact that Mary smacked Kendu in the face. Yet she left an indentation on his hand after she discovered him playing with a server. So was there inconvenience in heaven? Yep. Insiders told Page 6 that Kendu was loudly oppressive to Mary and controlling, dead free. She has accommodated with her companions, and her principal need is reparenting. The young lady where it counts inside who experienced such a lot of ignored injury. She said, "The present moment it's about me and little Mary. It's like, that is my child, my daughter. She wants my assistance and I won't at any point allow anyone to hurt her once more."